Hello everybody, TW here. Hey, listen, I just doing this here and I figured I'd make a quick video about it because it's something that might come in useful to you. It's an easy enough thing to do, and it doesn't apply to everything and you know, across the board, but it works in this regard, and I just wanted to show you. So here's some of these 380s that we loaded up in the last video, and I got one of them there that wouldn't go in the case checker. And I said that it would probably go in the chamber, and it probably would, but it doesn't go in the checker, and we know why. It's just a little tiny bit bulged down at the bottom of where the bullet goes into the case. And that could be from a number of reasons. In the video I said that it's probably because it's long, but I checked the length on the brass and they're really good. So I'm thinking that it's the design of the bullet. It's a solid brass bullet, and it's probably a little longer. You know, it's probably close to a 115 grain length, as opposed to the little 90 grainers that most 380s are loaded with. So what's happening is it's probably getting seated so far or deep in the case that in this particular brand of brass, which happens to be USA brand, it's just swelling a tiny little bit because the brass gets thicker as it goes down into the web. So I'm thinking that that's all it is, because I know it's a half a thousandths or so tight, which is why it won't go in. Okay, and all of these are the same way. They all are the same point. You can see right where it is. It just won't quite go in. Sometimes you can force it to go, but it's not quite right. So here's what I'm going to do to fix it. I got myself a piece of steel. I know it's dead flat. I keep it on the bench. It's a good idea to have, you know, a piece of steel. This is a good, you know, 3/8 inch thick piece of steel. And I've got a big chunky piece of iron here. Big, heavy. I know it's true and flat. We're going to roll this brass. Now this only works because this is a straight walled case. So we're just going to place it on there. We're not going to smash anything. We're just going to use the weight of this here, flat on there, and we're just going to roll it. And what we're doing is we're just smoothing out that piece. Now this is a jacketed bullet. I wouldn't probably recommend this for cast, because you can literally, you know, roll that bullet out and reduce your diameter. But we're not gonna reduce diameter on that bullet with you know, what we've got here. But you saw what I did. It didn't fit. Let's try it now. Let's just give it a wipe off. Still a little bit snug, but it goes in now. So we'll just do this again. Generally one time is all that's needed, but let's do it again. Now I'm not mashing on this or nothing. I'm just holding it so it remains parallel, and I'm just rolling it. I'm not pushing down really at all. I'm just guiding this big heavy chunk of steel, which probably weighs 20 pounds. Okay, we'll give it a wipe off again. We got a little schmutz on there. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, let's see. All right, it goes right in now, but still not quite right. So this one might be just a little bit excessive, more than what we can do. So let's set this one aside and come back to it. Let's look at another one here. Again, it won't go in. Let's place it on here. And what we're basically doing is just ironing out that high spot. I just went through and did, I don't know, whatever you see in the bucket over there. None of those fit. And I just did them on here. And you can see where it hits. It hits right there in the high spot. It goes right in the checker. Okay. It wouldn't go a second ago, and it goes right in now. So that's all we've done. We've just ironed that out. It's not going to hurt anything with a jacketed bullet. Again, here's another one. Won't quite go. We know where it won't go. It's right there. You can just see it. So let's try it again. Again, not really putting any extra weight on it, just guiding it and rolling it so that we keep true diameter. We don't change the shape. and just wipe it off to make sure you've got nothing, because these checkers can be really tight. Goes right in. Almost falls right out. Does fall right out. Okay, so we've taken a case that you probably would have had to pull and made it into something you know is gonna be fine. Here's a couple more back here that oh, that one goes right in. Literally, sometimes wiping them off makes the difference. And you clean this out too once in a while. You know, run a brush through it and clean that out. All right, this one, it kind of goes. You could force it, but let's give it a roll. You'd have a hard time doing this on a bottleneck rifle case, but you know, you can do it on a 380 or a 45 or something like that without any problem at all. Won't quite go. Let's give it some rolls and see what we get. We picked up some more debris. So that must be coming off our steel here. Yeah, we're powdering something. We're powdering the paint. So let's get something to get that off there. We're powdering the paint or whatever that is that's on the steel. And that's going to be enough to make this not want to chamber. So let's try it anyway, but I got a feeling that that's enough to make it not want to chamber. And it does. It'll go right in. But it needs to be cleaned off. So we're going to set that one aside and clean it. Let's wipe off our steel here. You can see the stuff is coming off there. And that's what that's from. Where's my razor blade here? I had a razor blade over here. I moved things around. And I don't have a razor blade anymore. All right, but that's my point, and that's what it is. So it's just a quick little thing for you to think about, something that might work for you. Might be able to save some rounds that you loaded that wouldn't go through or pass your checker. You know, you can just roll them. And as long as you got no serious defects, no folded cases or nothing, it's just, you can tell that you're only a half a thousandths from what you want to be. This'll work fine for you. You're not going to move it a great deal. You're not going to change the diameter of your bullet. You're just going to take away that one high spot that you could see and you know is there. So another little trick you can stick in your basket and might save the day for you. I hope it works for you. God bless everybody. CW out.